G'day, you legends. How you doing? It's Jamie. Wanted to say an incredibly warm welcome to you. Today, we're going to go through is something that is arguably one of the most vital metrics and vital things that I'm hoping to give you guys an epiphany about once you start getting to that point in your business when you start building out funnels, things like that. Okay, so let me just back it up a sec and tell you guys a little story, right? So stick around. I'm going to explain some stuff, but first, story time is very, very important. Right. So 2011, way back in 2011, when I got started online, I was working in the financial markets and I was teaching people how to trade. I was teaching people how to analyze chart patterns, how to manage risk, the complexities of the different products that our company provided. I was teaching them all about that type of stuff as well. So I was doing customer support and sales and account opening, things like that, right? So I thought, okay, well, I love what I do. I'm pretty good at it. How can I take the skill that I have and turn that into a business? How can I take that, teach people what I'm doing, hopefully help a few people out, minimize some of the mistakes that I had made along the way? How do I go about doing that? Right. So what happened was I figured, okay, I'll set up a blog. And because I was really naive and I was very, very ambitious, and I kind of just I started collecting domains. I started buying one domain. I'm like, oh, this is actually quite fun to buy them and research. So I bought another one, I bought another one, bought another one. And all of a sudden, I had a multitude of different domain names, some of which I still hold, by the way. Anyways, so then I started thinking, okay, well, I need to build an asset here. Okay, well, blogging seems to be the thing that a lot of people do, a lot of making a lot of money out of it. How do I make those blogs? And so I started building these blogs out, and I say blogs, plural, is a big mistake that I made. Number one is if you're going to go down the one pathway, stick with that pathway. Don't make life more awkward than it needs to be. So I had multiple blogs, three of them to be precise, on three different subjects within the finance niche. So foreign exchange trading, share market investing, and just overall overarching finance themes as well. For some reason, I don't know why. I don't know why I did that. Anyways, needless to say, took it took me months just to figure out cPanel, like the hosting and things like that. It took me months, self taught. Like there was some YouTube content, it just wasn't that much of it back then either. Yeah, I had courses, I had sought out mentoring and things like that within the confines of my budget at the time, and most of it didn't really get me that further ahead. And so then I kept plowing away and I kept going through this process and I kept thinking about things. I was like, okay, fine. And so I ended up building out, like, say, three blogs. I kept adding content to them. I was like pretty regular with that for a while. I was like, yeah, okay, I just need to add more content. Then I need to figure out how to get backlinks there. And I didn't quite know like how to actually rank a site from an SEO basis, anything like that. I found it really, really complex. And so why am I telling you all this story? Great question. I like stories first and foremost. No, I'm kidding. So basically, the reason why I'm telling you this is because this is a very, very common pathway that people take. And so when they jump into the online marketing world, they will jump into, I'm going to go to get ClickFunnels thingy. I'm going to go get one of these awards. I'm going to do the thing, which is amazing, by the way, when you hit that. It's pretty damn cool. But let me share some advice based on my tenure here, shall we? So this is a very common mistake. People would go and they'll find funnels and then they'll think, okay, well, I need the best funnel builder. So then that's like a new search. And then, well, I don't know if I want to do funnels, or maybe I should just build out a website. So then that's a whole new search. And then they think, okay, well, I want to remove the complexities. Let's try to get some hosting, but that was like crazy complex and so much to learn. And I don't want to do that. It's too hard, too annoying. I don't want to pay a webmaster. That's too hard, too annoying. What can I do? I'll get one of these kind of done for you things like a Shopify, or I'll pay someone Fiverr to set up my WordPress, or a builder, or a ClickFunnels, or a Go High Level, or whatever it is, right? Or a Wix, or Weebly, or you name it. There's so many options out there these days as well. And so that in itself, just finding the right one is often very, very confusing for folks. Then they find the right one, and and then what happens is they spend a ton of time, like I did, a ton of time and energy building this thing out, and you feel productive, right? You come home from work, you load up on another coffee, you have some dinner, you chat to your loved ones, then you go into your little bat cave and you start building this thing out. And when you do, you feel productive because you've like ticked things off your list and you've built things out. But then what happens is 6 months go down the drain, and you look back and you go, cool, I've got this shiny new thing here and it's lovely. Love it. Where's the money? Where's the traffic? Where's the offer? What are you selling? It's one tiny component of a broader suite of things that you need to figure out first, right? So before I get into today's video, that's kind of what I wanted to express more than anything, is just make sure that you guys, if you're getting started in this game, don't necessarily believe that you need a funnel to go get stuff happening, right? One of the things I teach my students, I've got over 900 now across two pretty awesome programs, I should say, is I tell them to start minimalistically, because the less moving parts you have in your business, the easier it is to fix things if they ever go wrong and ever break. And if they don't ever break because you've got them all optimized, and that's perfect, right? It's what we want. It also means that from a managerial perspective, you've only got a few things that you need to worry about at any given time. And then it's just a matter of dialing in each one as you go through. And that's the purpose of today's video, right? So that was my big story. The big piece of advice is, don't necessarily believe that you need a funnel. And if you do, then figure out why things are converting. Don't get emotionally hung up on it. Like if you build out a landing page and it takes you a week and a half, 3 weeks, whatever it is, right? Because you're learning the software and things like that. Don't fall in love with just the static page the way it is. What I mean by that is get some data as quickly as you can, be unemotional about it, change the headline, change the button colors, change the blah, blah, blah. Just optimize that process without being emotional, and life will be way, way easier. Right. But if you're not at that point, here's another thing that I tell my students as well with the minimalistic start is go onto Facebook, go onto Instagram, go onto LinkedIn, go onto Twitter, go onto anything, whatever is out there. Build an audience, craft an offer that solves people's problems. And if you don't have an offer, you don't want to build anything, that's absolutely fine. Go find an affiliate product. There's thousands of them that are amazing. Hit me up if you're interested. I've got a bunch of them as well. I've got courses and all that type of stuff. Otherwise, go to jamiegardiner.com/scale. We can go check that out. There's a bunch of stuff there. But go find something that you believe in as an affiliate. Wrap an offer around it. I'll try and remember to leave a video. Otherwise, just snoop my channel. I've got a whole bunch of free stuff on offer creation there as well. Wrap an offer around that so it converts at a higher rate. So you stick out above all the other affiliates. Start getting some traction that way. Get some cash flow coming in. Then use the cash flow to reinvest into the complexity, the funnels and the blah, 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 and the automations and yada, yada, yada. That's what I say. Like start minimalistically like that and build your way out. Anyways, little bit of a random story, just because I wanted to share something with you guys. I think it's really, really important. And this is quite honestly from having worked with 900 students now, or probably close to 1,000. I suspect it is. I suspect it's well over 1,000. In fact, it'd probably be more like 1,200. But anyway, semantics. That is the number one mistake. And I know it because I've also made it myself. I also spent so much time and energy doing the things that aren't going to move the needle, that aren't important in my business, and tricking myself into thinking that it was. Anyways, right, so when you finally get to the point where you're building out funnels, right, which you are going to need at some point to scale and optimize and automate, you are going to need funnels. So don't be afraid of them. Just figure out why they convert in the first place. Learn a bit of copy, learn a bit of sales, learn a bit of offer creation. It's a lifetime skill, right, that'll feed you for life. Case in point, one of my clients just helped them crack 62K in the last, call it like 40 odd days, from Boxing Day to sort of like, I guess, early Feb type stuff, which is pretty damn good, right? That's in a completely different niche than what I normally do. But the principles are the same. Offer creation, copy, better offer, better positioning, better advertising, better marketing, right? All the same principles. Meaning that once you learn these skills, you can't unlearn them. You can take them anywhere. Right. So here's the thing, audience. Now, obviously I've got my YouTube channel. If you're willing to go snoop around a little bit, I've got a group with 5,500 people in it. I've got an email list, which is freaking tiny, about 1,600 people at the time of recording. It spits out a lot of cash, though. It's one of my things I'm very proud of. Small email list. I've got, obviously, my website, which does close to nothing, to be perfectly honest. I'd be surprised if it gets 100 hits per month. What else? I've got, even this YouTube channel, 9,000 something subs, but my watch time is not great. My view count is not great. but it works. It makes a ton of cash, and there's a reason for that. But anyway, what I'd suggest is you have something where you can present middle of funnel, right? So it doesn't necessarily need to be top of funnel where you're using it as a mechanism to bring in new leads and all that type of stuff. You're using it as a middle of funnel to kind of spend time with your clientele. You ideally want a place where you can bring that relationship closer. I personally use Facebook and more specifically Facebook groups, but don't pigeonhole yourself. It can be quite simply like any community. So school obviously is going nuts at the moment. I personally have access to something called group.app, just because it's a private community. It's a little bit different. Um, and it could be anything. It could be Twitter, or are we allowed to call it that? X, whatever it's called. LinkedIn. I'm doing a bit of stuff over there at the moment. So I'm expanding, and other ones, TikTok, etc., etc., etc. So basically, the whole idea is wherever you get an audience from, I would go personally narrow first before going wide. And what I mean by that is like pick one or two that you can easily create content for, that's not going to distract you and be kind of like you trying to raise all the boats in the rising tide at the same time. Like, it is really, really hard unless you've got time, a team, and capital to go broad. As in, like, I'm going to be everywhere at once. It's a lot harder. Now, I understand there's automations, there's repurpose.io, different things that will do that for you. For most of us, the easiest way is just to go narrow, just stick with one platform first, look to expand after that as well, right? Now, free lead magnet, could be absolutely anything. Go on the Canva, create something fancy if you want. I've got a bunch of lead magnets that are literally just a Google Doc. So, but the information contained within them is pretty badass, right? Google Doc, Canva stuff. So, as in tickety things. What else? You got lists work really well. So, book lists are great. Readers are buyers, by the way. What else? You got checklists. It's the same thing, but slightly different, I guess. Checklists. You've got files, like there's different files that you use for certain things. Anything that's like done for you, like a funnel template, something like that. So I'll say done for you templates, right? Any of these are fine. And I'm going to go somewhere with this that you guys have just stick around. It's going to be worth your time, I can assure you. So we've got that. Funnels, templates, blah, 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 blah. What else would you have there? Video training, but I would encourage you to make it relatively short, just because if someone's new, like the people might consume this, right? But I'll look at the watch time later on. The drop off rate will be like 18 seconds, right? Because most people are fucking idiots, and like they wouldn't sit through a 20 to 30-minute video of someone teaching them something that is highly valuable for their business because they want to go back to their cat videos and whatever, right? But that's if you're here at this point, then you're better than most other parts of humanity, basically. But anyway, my point, I know that's a very polarizing statement, but it is true. But a video can be, but as long as it's short, because if people don't know me, they're not going to spend time with me, basically. They're not going to consume as much content. I'm going to be, who's this fucking idiot? And so we want to make, especially when it's top of funnel, top and middle of funnel, we want to kind of make it, sorry, not middle, but top of funnel. We want to make it pretty short, easy to consume, couple of minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes max type stuff. Low ticket. So here's the thing. Now I swear I'm gonna go somewhere with this, right? Just bear with me. Now, low ticket, it can be actually ironically similar to what we've got here. So you can have even Canva templates. I just bought one the other day. $27, amazing investment. Again, I've got literally Google Docs with stuff that I've sold, full courses, mini courses, workshops work really well, and likewise with they don't have to be low ticket as well. Master classes, I've got a 6-day masterclass actually. Um, master classes. But they don't have to be like that. They can just be short training, which is, I guess, a bit the same as masterclass, right? They can be again, some sort of like done for you thing, like a funnel, really nice funnel. Sell that. Could be video templates, etc. You kind of get the idea, right? The point is a low ticket offer. It just needs to be something that's small, relatively easy to consume, relatively easy for people to deploy and get results on the back of. One of the mistakes that I've made historically is I'll put like the entire kitchen, sink, farms, everything into the low ticket front end. And I will contact people down the track. They'll be like, I'm still going through it. And it's like, because you've given too much at that point, right? You need to like kind of dial it in a little bit. Still give them tons of value, like think 100 times the value that they pay, the monetary value that they pay, but it needs to be consumable and actionable, even more importantly. Right. Last but not least, high ticket offer. What does this look like? So many things. So let's go masterminds first and foremost. They're very popular and very, very powerful. If you've got a room full of people that are doing really cool stuff, it's hard not to elevate your own mojo being around those folks, right? Like if you're building a business, 6 or 7 figure business, and you go and hang around with other people that are building a 6 or 7 figure business, you cannot not elevate to their level, and everyone just raises the energy in that room, even if it's virtual, right? You've still got that mojo coming across. Courses, I've paid upwards of $2,000 for just a course, no other support or anything like that on it. What else? Courses, programs, same deal really, but programs I would consider having a curriculum, coaching, and community. That's my big three. This is the way that I structure them actually. A curriculum, if I can spell it, curriculum, coaching, community. Now it means that you're supporting, but you also got other people that are helping to support based on their life skills and skills related to your main offer, basically, right? Which is really cool. So that's it. Last one's course programs, events, live events. You can have things like virtual events, even. You can have just one-to-one coaching, that works. You can have group coaching, which I know might as well be the same thing. These are the things, right? Now, here's where I wanted to go with this. This is the big promise that I made at the start. This is what I wanted to get to. Right, so keep an eye on these. What do we got here? Audience, wherever you're getting that from, you're always driving it to one. Here's the thing. One centralized place. Now, we know all that, so we're going to go audience, right? Landing page, so that's your front end, right? Low ticket, because if you've got a low ticket offer, here's something for you. A buyer, go do your homework on this. I've got some stats somewhere. I can't remember where the source was, but it's true. It's been researched, but it was Adobe did a research article some years back, and basically they figured out that a buyer is 60 to 70% more likely to buy from you again. So big companies, small brands, right? Same thing. They're likely 60 to 70% more likely to buy from you. Now that could be an affiliate offer. It could be your own coaching. It could be your own courses. It could be something else that you offer. It could be something you've recommended. It could be, whatever. That is how it works. Now, of course, you can go straight to high ticket. I would encourage you for your first few. But here's where things get really freaking amazing, right? Let's get rid of that for a sec. Now, so go to our landing page over here. And you got your low ticket there, and you got your high ticket there, and you got your audience there, right? So you're sending all of your audience, all your traffic to this landing page. Now, let's say, hypothetically, get that converting at 10%. Hypothetically, out of those, right? So out of the 10% that convert into leads, you have maybe, being a little bit aggressive here. Sometimes it's a lot lower. It really depends on cold traffic, all sorts of things, right? Let's say it's 10%. We get them into the front end of the funnel, the buyer's funnel at 10%. So 100 people go through, we're going to get 10 buyers, right? And then let's say, just conservatively, you can get this significantly higher, of course, but let's say it's 1%. Now, here's the freaking amazing thing I want to get you guys to understand. If we take the top-down approach, so we work on our high ticket first, we get this validated, make sure that, okay, that's an MVO, minimum viable offer. It's validated. We've had people that are interested based on whatever the solution is. Like, cool, it's validated, nice, we've got this sorted out. Then we work backwards. We either go mid-ticket or low ticket, right? And then we go, all right, well, how do we get people into that as a lead? And how do we optimize all this, right? So here's the thing. You get the baseline done. And organically and paid as well, you're going to start sending traffic to it. Now, 10% would be astronomically low. You'd want to boost that significantly. And for context, what I will express is this as an absolute outlier. not every page is going to do this. This is just one of the better results that I produced for a client. I help them write the copy, help them design the landing page, and it converts at 70.7%. And that is after about 8 months. And that is well over 10,000 hits and 6,000 plus opt-ins, right? So sorry, I'm trying to remember the panel that I had. It was 10,000 unique hits. In fact, you know what? I'm going to pause this video. This is important now. I'm going to bring this up so I can prove my point. All right, I didn't want to make a liar of myself. Oh, where did we go? There we go. Didn't want to make a liar of myself, so this is what we got here. All right, get this guy up. So, 10,517 unique hits at the time of recording, of course. 8,598 unique. So total hits 10, uniques 8. Opt-ins 6,080, and the conversion rate for that was 70.71. So there you go. That's my little rant. There you go. Right. So, but that is an outlier, right? Not many of them are going to do that. It's just not the case. They're usually a lot lower. Okay. So let's start conservatively. This is the cool part, right? We're getting to the cool part finally. Now, think about it this way. If we do nothing else, all things being equal, we've got our little email sequence or our conversion metric, whatever happens in between here that gets the low ticket buyers, and whatever happens in between here that gets our high ticket buyers, right? None of that's super complex. This means that if all we do is work on our landing page, and that might start with, for example, our headline. We're like, can we change the headline? Can we split test that? All right, send another 100 clicks that way. One is significantly better than the other. Okay, well now we've got a new baseline. Can we beat the baseline? Let's try it again. No, we can't. Okay, what about again? Yes, we can. Okay, cool. We've just beaten the baseline. So now, what about the button color? What about the symmetry? What about the fonts? What about the all that type of stuff? And let's say conservatively, guess what? We get this to 20%. We get that to 20%. Guess what we have just done? We have only optimized one component of our entire business, and we have doubled our business. All things being equal, we have doubled our business based on the back of that. So now we're looking at, if we send 1,000 clicks that way, 100 opt-ins before, 10 sales, 1 high ticket sale. Now, and bear in mind, made up figures, these are not real stats, yada, yada, yada. 200 opt-ins, 20 sales, and I think that's still one sale. It might be 2 sales or whatever, right? Let's go 1% of the total opt-ins, whatever it is, right? But anyway, point being is just purely from doing that, we've doubled our business, right? Which is absolutely astronomical. Now, what that means is that these become iterative, right? So we're continually adding traffic, still doing the thing, we're still adding different lead magnets, things like that. Then we continue to optimize this. Maybe we can get that to 12%. You never know. Maybe it's less than that. It might be 5%. You get it to 10, whatever. Maybe the high ticket stuff, maybe we can convert even higher. Imagine if we got this up to all the way up to 5% of our opt-ins. So that would be pretty cool. That would be really pretty cool type stuff. But that's it. It means that you're always iterating this process, and you're always iterating the follow-ups. You're always iterating the thing. But you start with one, you work at it until you've optimized it, like say, and even if you get it to 10 to 20%, which is not much, it's a tiny move. Even better, imagine if you get this to 30, right? Crazy to think of what you're doing in your business just from that, all things being equal, of course. So that's it, guys. Just really wanted to hammer that home to kind of give you guys a bit of an idea. Like, number one is, funnels are, they're important, but you don't need them to start. Understand sales, marketing, offer creation, having the mental fortitude to actually ask a stranger for a significant amount of money, that is going to take a ton of your mental fortitude when you've never done it before. Then use the profits to start reinvesting in your business. It just makes life so much easier. And if you're not going in that path, you've already started doing that stuff, keep going, but just remove all the other stuff, all the periphery stuff that's happening, focus, and then get it up and running as quickly as you can so you can start getting that data. Remove your emotional state from it. It serves nothing, right? We want to look at this with an analytical mind and see it with just as data, basically. And if we can do that, what can you do with data? You can optimize, right? So that's it. Anyway, guys, really, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hit the old comments there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this stuff. And yeah, if you're interested in working together, I've got some pretty cool things happening at the moment. So my Ultimate Marketing Mastermind program is still kicking ass. And if you'd like to get information on that, there is a link below that. We're doing some really, really cool things at the moment. Also, I do have a higher tier coaching offer. It's called the Sanctum of Success. Currently closed at the time of recording. If you would like to find out some info more, you know what I mean. If you'd like to find some info more about that, I'm keeping it. It's my new word. You know what to do. Just go and hang out in my group, and when spots open up, and you want help to remove all the burden and process out of your business, you want the help to grow your business the way that you wanted to grow it, and more importantly, you want to attract the people that you want to attract. And more importantly, again, you want to do so in a way that is really, really super fun and removes all the burden of stress out of what it is that you're doing in your business. Hit me up. Let's have a chat. My sales process is pretty chilled out these days. So that's it. All right, guys. Look, I massively appreciate you all. Thanks so much for tuning in. And yeah, see you in the next one. All right, guys. Cheers.